In the tangled web of human relationships lies a fascinating phenomenon: the ability to influence others without a single word. This mysterious power goes beyond ordinary speech, reaching into the world of thought, energy, and consciousness. Over time, as this intriguing concept is explored and applied, it becomes clear that its possibilities can expand exponentially. Our exploration of the realm of nonverbal influence becomes even more profound when we consider the startling idea that this ability can grow and develop with dedication and practice, much like honing any other skill. The more attention we pay to this aspect, the stronger its manifestations become. This journey of self-discovery shows that our ability to influence others can undergo amazing changes. It is like focusing a magnifying glass to direct the power of sunlight. When we consistently focus our thoughts and intentions on how we perceive others, a profound shift occurs. But what exactly does this shift entail? And how can we actively cultivate this ability that slumbers within each of us? The answers to these questions may be the key to unlocking the limitless potential of human influence. When we encounter people from our past, we are often surprised to find striking changes in them. Those who once seemed defined appear in a completely different light. This transformation is not only personal, but also affects professional activities, teamwork, and everyday social interactions. At the heart of this phenomenon is a profound realization of the unity of consciousness. Despite the apparent fragmentation dictated to us by the senses, in its essence, consciousness is one and indivisible. We are all connected by the invisible threads of the collective mind. Realizing this truth opens up our ability to influence others without even using words. The development of self-awareness is inextricably linked to the formation of our beliefs and perceptions of people. We tend to see them as we have painted ourselves. Once rooted in these perceptions, we unconsciously project them onto others. Thus, by harmonizing our thoughts with our desired outcomes, we notice how the people we interact with subtly but tangibly reflect our expectations. In the business environment, this phenomenon manifests itself in many guises, opening up new horizons for interaction. Whether with colleagues, customers, or business partners, our ability to influence without words becomes a powerful leverage point. Imagine a situation where an employee who has previously shown disagreement or hesitation about a new project visibly changes right before your eyes. His or her attitude is transformed. His or her contribution becomes more valuable and aligned with shared goals, and interactions become more cohesive and effortless. As he becomes imbued with the thoughts we subconsciously transmit to him, this transformation is accomplished without much persuasion or argument. Similarly, in our personal lives, our relationships with loved ones, friends, and acquaintances undergo a significant change as we develop this skill. It seems as if the people around us begin to reflect the qualities and traits we mentally visualize, creating a harmonious and mutually beneficial dynamic that develops without apparent effort. Before moving on, let's look at a fascinating episode in the life of William Walker Atkinson. This prolific author left behind an impressive literary legacy, hiding under a variety of pseudonyms, among which stand out Theron C. Dumont, Yogi Ramacharaka, and the enigmatic Magus Incognito. A special place in his bibliography is occupied by Kybalion, a work whose themes are consonant with the subject of our present discussion. This book, often attributed to the authorship of some 3 initiates, is the quintessence of Atkinson's teachings on the 7 Hermetic principles. It is noteworthy that the secret doctrine of the Rosicrucians echoes the ideas set forth in the Kybalion, which indicates an internal relationship between the various facets of his work. In the context of our study on the influence exerted without a single word, it is of paramount importance to conceptualize the underlying concept of self-persuasion. This art lies in the ability to convince ourselves of exactly how reality works, which in turn determines the nature of our relationships with others. It is based on a deep realization that our own beliefs and perceptions of others shape their responses to us. Instead of expending precious energy trying to convince or persuade others to conform to our expectations, we set in motion a subtle but extremely effective process. We affirm in the depths of our subconscious that these people are exactly as we imagine them to be. And this unconditional acceptance creates a solid foundation for amazing metamorphoses in our interpersonal interactions. In the intricacy of human interaction, our innermost thoughts, held beliefs, and the people we meet along life's journey form a complex but harmonious symphony. When certain truths about our fellow human beings take root in the depths of our subconscious, they, like faithful mirrors, involuntarily reflect these truths in their actions and behaviors directed at us. This phenomenon goes far beyond naive wishful thinking, representing a fundamental transformation in the perception of the reality around us. The people around us in our personal and professional lives act as a kind of reflectors, broadcasting the thoughts we have accepted and internalized about them. Self-confidence rests on this inextricable link between inner beliefs and the external reality that unfolds before our eyes. In a practical context, consider the example of a manager interacting with a team member whose views and approaches at first seemed diametrically opposed. Rather than embarking on a path of often fruitless attempts at persuasion and coercion, this visionary leader resorts to the art of self-persuasion. He begins to perceive and present his colleague in a light consistent with the desired outcome, anticipating a harmonious and productive working relationship. They pin their hopes on fruitful interactions by sensitively monitoring the smallest manifestations of desirable qualities in their coworkers' behaviors. In this process, based on the power of self-inspiration, there is no need for direct instructions or guidance. The transformation of the leader's worldview entails the organic acceptance of his ideals by team members. The art of self-influence goes beyond business relations, penetrating into the personal sphere. Family ties, friendships, and even fleeting encounters with strangers are influenced by our beliefs. By subconsciously adopting certain attitudes about people, we create a fertile ground for harmonious communication. People around us begin to display the traits we attribute to them, creating a positive and mutually beneficial atmosphere. This subtle but powerful transformation accompanies us throughout our life journey and determines the nature of our interpersonal contacts. Drawing on the profound insights of William Walker Atkinson, a fuller understanding of the mechanisms of nonverbal influence on others is revealed. Atkinson reveals the fascinating concept of thought waves, emphasizing their importance in the process of influencing others. His teachings provide compelling evidence of the power of human thought to transcend the boundaries of consciousness and shape the reality around us. According to Atkinson, the origin of each thought or feeling initiates a stream of mental energy that propagates in the form of thought waves. These invisible but tangible waves have the amazing ability to cause similar vibrations in the minds of those within their reach. Atkinson explains this phenomenon as follows. Thought waves have the property of awakening similar vibrations in the minds of others within their field of power, in accordance with the laws of mental influence. This profound observation emphasizes the interconnectedness of human thoughts and their subtle but tangible effects on others. To illustrate the situation, a person enters a room full of people and involuntarily feels some invisible but quite tangible energy in the air. According to Atkinson, this special energy is the result of the interaction of thought waves, a kind of collective mental vibrations permeating the surrounding space. People who achieve a deep understanding of this phenomenon are empowered to harness its power to foster positive relationships and influence those around them. Atkinson's teachings encourage us to realize that our thoughts are not prisoners of our minds. Rather, they extend outward, influencing the thoughts and feelings of those who come in contact with our mental vibrations. Atkinson's wisdom goes beyond theoretical speculation, offering concrete ways to apply this knowledge to everyday life. Whether in business, personal relationships, or social activities, recognizing the existence of thought waves and their influence allows us to navigate the complex labyrinths of human connection more consciously. By harnessing the power of our thoughts and directing them according to our intentions, we can create harmonious dynamics and shape our interactions in deep and meaningful ways. As Atkinson argued, thought, clothed in mental images and animated by the power of desire, inevitably tends to materialize. So, we have the ability to communicate something intangible to others without uttering a single word. All we need to do is fill the message with sincere intention and burning desire. Putting into practice this influence without the use of verbal means opens new horizons for us in everyday life, demonstrating the depth of this phenomenon. Let's imagine a situation. In a work environment, there is tension with a team member or colleague with whom we cannot establish mutual understanding. Instead of resorting to the usual methods of persuasion or engaging in fruitless arguments, you can try out the principles you've learned. First, it is necessary to mentally visualize this person in the light in which you would like to see him, creating in the imagination of the ideal picture of a working relationship. Then, you should formulate a clear intention so that further interaction will develop in a positive way. During or after meetings with this person, you should carefully observe the slightest changes in his or her behavior that could correspond to the intended qualities. This approach eliminates the need to resort to forceful pressure and promotes the natural improvement of relationships and actions. In essence, a person allows his subconscious beliefs to shape the responses of those around him, based on the principle of self-hypnosis. This revolutionary approach is not limited to the business sphere, but also serves as a solid foundation for building strong and harmonious relationships among family, friends, and acquaintances. Take, for example, a situation with a friend with whom there have been disagreements or misunderstandings in the past. Instead of constantly returning to old grievances, you can apply an effective method of self-conviction. It is necessary to present this friend in a positive light, corresponding to the desired result. As a person full of understanding, sympathy, and striving for harmony, in the process of communication, should pay attention to even minor changes in his behavior, reflecting these qualities, and gently note them. Over time, a natural and organic transformation of the relationship, characterized by mutual respect and agreement, will become apparent. The appeal of this method lies in its high effectiveness and its ability to dispel any doubts about its efficacy. As these principles are applied in various spheres of life, positive changes will occur more quickly and smoothly, opening new horizons for personal growth and interpersonal interaction. The era of fruitless disputes, bitterness of defeat, and imposing one's will by force is over. On the horizon looms a fundamentally different model of relationships, where your innermost thoughts and aspirations stealthily guide the course of communication. This approach is not just a speculative theory, but a powerful and miraculous way to connect, whether with family and friends or in a business environment. It transforms the way you interact with others without a single word. Ultimately, the ability to influence without words is a profound and transformative skill that goes far beyond the usual communication. It grows from inner confidence, the ability to transmit thought waves, and the realization that our thoughts have the power to shape the reality around us. As we continue to learn and practice these principles, we have the opportunity to navigate the complex maze of human relationships with grace, tact, and profound impact.